All right, guys, this is going to be kind of a rabbit hole we're going to jump down, so I appreciate you guys hanging with me here. Just a heads up, I've got a little bit of a head cold still, so if I start fading in and out, that's probably why. And also, if you could just make sure to like and subscribe right now, because I'm not going to remember to do it at the end of this video, so I would massively appreciate if you guys could just hit that like button, go ahead and hit subscribe, and we are going to jump right into this. So you can see this article here from Rock, Paper, Shotgun, talking about how there's a Ubisoft investor who wants to dethrone Ubisoft's founders so that Ubisoft can lay more developers off. That's a very not coherent, or at least not in-depth summarization of this letter that was sent. The long and the short of it is this investment group from Slovakia contacted Ubisoft's board of directors, the members of the committee, Yves Guillemot, the current CEO and chairman, and of course Tencent Holdings, who we'll get into in a minute, and called for a strategic and structural change at Ubisoft, essentially saying that they wanted to take the company private, they wanted to stop being a publicly traded company, they want to allow the sale to go to somebody else who's actually willing to make the company successful, to actually make good video games again. They're going to make them money, start the hiring process of a new CEO, which probably pissed off Yves Guillemot because he has been there since day one. He and his brothers created Ubisoft, and so on and so on. But what's even crazier is that you can see that there are some spicier assertions in the paragraph listed here, where it says Krupa, who again filed this letter, thinks that Tencent and the Guillemot brothers holding company are essentially in cahoots to stop Ubisoft being acquired by private equity firms such as KKR and Blackstone, with Tencent buying shares in the Guillemot holding company in 2022, and the Guillemots then buying up more Ubisoft shares to prevent any future acquisition or takeovers that would make Ubisoft operations more effective and agile against its competitors. AJ Investments believes that Tencent and the Guillemot family are keeping the share price low so that they can scoop up shares on the cheap and eventually take full control of Ubisoft, which is crazy to think about. While he doesn't say that it's a deliberate part of this strategy, Krupa suggests that delaying games is beneficial for Tencent and the Guillemots on this count, which again, pretty spicy accusation, but once you start to see the connections here, it actually begins to make sense. I mean, just think about it this way. Look at the Ubisoft stock, in particular the SA stock that we're talking about, the European stock as it is right now. This is a stock that was public back in 2000 when it first launched, and it is worth less now than it was back when it first launched. At one point, it had a high of about $94, 94 euros, and now it's all the way down below just about 12. I think it was under 12 earlier today. Massive market share that has been lost as far as like their market cap goes. Absolutely millions and millions of euros that have been lost for these investors. Of course, you can even see that they have never paid dividends on this stock as well, which is crazy because even Disney, who had suspended their dividends for their shares for like 3 years, brought it back to try to appease their investors during their proxy battle last year, giving their investors, I think, like 30 cents per share or whatever. I mean, back in 2019, it was like 88 cents a share, so that's a pretty big slap in the face, but still, it's something. Ubisoft hasn't even done that. So a lot of this is coming on the heels of a lot of the pressure that they are facing over the lack of success that Star Wars Outlaws is having, over a lot of the controversies surrounding Assassin's Creed Shadows that's supposed to be coming out in like 2 months. And again, this is a game that is not going to save them due to the fact that there is a lot of controversy given their choice to make Yasuke, the Black Samurai, the protagonist of the game, after deciding to finally give fans a Japanese Assassin's Creed title. And again, this is in part due to the fact that there's a lot of this DEI agenda being pushed by Ubisoft, which once again goes back to what we're going to get into with Tencent and BlackRock, and a lot of this ESG nonsense that's been going on behind the scenes for years. So, speaking about Ubisoft specifically, it was originally created by the Guillemot family, the Guillemot brothers, who created Ubisoft, and then of course they set up several different companies, one of which being their LTD, which is the controlling investment company, if you will, that controls Ubisoft. However, if you go back to just 2022, they sold almost 50% of their stake in their LTD to Tencent, a Chinese company that is worth billions of dollars, okay? Absolutely massive amount of value in this company. And so they sold a 49.9% economic stake in the Guillemot Brothers Ltd, but only allowed Tencent to have a 5% of the voting rights. So Tencent paid almost $300 million for the stake, which is a substantial increase from what they had before. So when you start looking at this and you realize even the Guillemot brothers, who have like companies like Gameloft, which is a mobile game company going all the way back to 2013, was in bed with Tencent, QQ Games, teaming up to bring Ice Age Village to China's Android market. Again, mobile games, something that China is well known for, including Tencent, who used to be just a mobile game company. But of course, Tencent, like I said, is worth $439 billion, making it the 20th most valuable company in the world. Now, this gives them a lot of influence, especially when you realize that a lot of their connections are with companies like BlackRock, who back in 2018 created a China unit and raised $1 billion in their maiden mutual fund for China. So again, BlackRock, Tencent, Ubisoft, these companies have all been working together behind the scenes for years, and this is why we're seeing this ESG push, this DEI push in Ubisoft today. Now, we have to segue and talk about Black Myth Wukong a little bit, because Black Myth Wukong is from a company called Game Science, and I have praised this game because it is a fantastic game, despite the fact that it is influenced to some degree by the CCP, by the Communist Party of China. However, when you start thinking, more than just but the game is fun, the game's not woke, the game's got great combat, and it's what we've all been looking for, and all of our money goes to China anyway, so who cares? When you start to realize that purchasing this game and supporting this game, unfortunately, as I have done, and so have 20 million other people, it encourages China to increase their push increase the DEI agenda through the companies that they support. Because the thing is, a lot of people don't realize, is that while China doesn't act woke, they don't embrace the woke ideology, they don't have the DEI agenda in China, they export it to other places around the world, particularly the West, who they want to undermine and weaken. And so while they are trying to sell you a game that is, once again, not woke, that has just great gameplay and a fun story and all that stuff, at the same time, they are sending and funding billions of dollars in DEI agenda through other companies in the West to undermine them. And this could be a situation where they are trying to destroy Ubisoft from within so they can either buy more shares or essentially put Ubisoft in the ground so they have less competition, and then China can just eat up more of the game's market. Again, this is more of a conspiracy theory, so let me know what you guys think about that. But honestly, it seems viable that this could be a plan going all the way back to, if you look at this, 10 years ago, where this Fortune article says Tencent is game for global growth. Now, what's even more pertinent is 2014 is when this article came out, and Game Science, which had 7 former Tencent employees, was founded in 2014. So this could even be like a 10-year plan that that Tencent has been working on. And again, you have to remember Tencent is heavily influenced by the CCP. So again, this idea of pushing the DEI into the games that are in the Western Hemisphere goes back at least 10 years, if not longer. Now, we have seen even Congress, as incompetent as they are, blast DEI and foreign CCP influence for ruining elite institutions. But it's not just the colleges. It's not just the money that we've seen them pump into universities and other companies. It's in entertainment as well. And this is unfortunately a reality where I have nothing against Chinese people. I have nothing against the Chinese, community as a whole or their culture. But unfortunately, we are in a situation where we are being undermined by governments like the CCP that are funneling their money and their time and their energy into promoting this DEI agenda through other avenues like entertainment and education, again, spending billions of dollars to pump this into the Western world, while we're over here praising a game made in China because it's not woke. It's just kind of insane. And again, the danger of the CCP and other company or other governments like this is when you look at the fact that this Chinese video game platform founder, Chen Shaoji, hopefully I didn't ruin his name, was literally like abducted and held hostage by their own government because this investment group or this short seller group, Grizzly Reports, did this article, this report saying that essentially that there was online gambling and some explicit material on this website, DouYu, which is apparently the Chinese version of Twitch. And for that, the Chinese government arrested the man without even notifying anybody. They just scooped him up in the dead of night. And again, this is something that we have seen. This is the thing that we cannot be okay with the CCP involvement, is the fact that they don't even have due process to the extent that we have in our flawed system here. So there's a lot of concerning signs pointing to what is really going on with Ubisoft, with their involvement with Tencent, with the funding from BlackRock, with all this ESG crap. And unfortunately, a lot of us have just kind of bought this whole hook, line, and sinker with Black Myth Wukong, when the reality is that companies like Ubisoft, the reason that they are failing could directly be because of China's involvement through Tencent and the effect that they're having on the Western world and gaming as a whole. So let me know what you guys think about all this. I'm sorry if this is all half-cocked and, non-coherent. I'm very tired, haven't slept in 2 days, and again, I'm still sick, so hopefully there was something in there that was informative. Let me know what you guys think about all this down below, and I will catch you on the next one. All right, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.